Hey guys. So by the time my roommate started raising quail, I already booked a trip to the Virgin Islands. But in the 5 months between booking that trip and getting on the plane, chaos. Pure and simple, just fucking chaos. Hi, I'm Bo, and welcome back to the Unhinged Ginge. This is episode 8. I left you off. Chef is gone, and now I lose my mind a little bit. So, Chef left. If you remember my roommate, Robert, he was the one who owned the house. Robert has now also left. He has moved back to his home city, still owns the house, but is letting Harvey kind of be more like property manager things. So it's like Harvey's now kind of my landlord as opposed to Robert. And yeah, the dynamic changed drastically when Robert left. He was the glue for sure that held the house together, and things shifted very swiftly without him being around. So Chef is gone. My favorite roommate is gone. It's my 1 year anniversary of my divorce, and we're getting really close to my birthday. So I decided to treat myself, and I book a vacation for a week to go to the islands and see Chef, because why the fuck not, right? Let's go to paradise and see this great man and take a week off. It'll be fun. So I booked this trip for a week to go see Chef and enjoy myself. And sometime in the meantime of all of these things transpiring, Harvey goes to the farmer's market or some shit. I don't know, but there's a French guy who works, this chef, and he sells quail. He plucks, he's this machine that plucks them into this fresh killed quail, whatever the fuck, I don't know, I'm a vegetarian, not that that matters. But to each his own. Enjoy your nibbles, my meat-eating babies. Just not for me. So there's this French guy at the farmer's market that sells quail. So Harvey's thinking this will be a fucking solid side hustle if I start raising quail to sell this dude. This will make me some money, bet. I don't really remember the fucking logistics of the situation that he went into when he was describing this to me, but he sold me on it. Period. He sold me on it. So I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Of course, do the thing. So he asked me, and I was thinking yeah, it's just gonna be a few, right? It can't be that fucking many birds. So it starts off with just some eggs and some little chicks, and they're adorable. They're these tiny little babies, and they're so cute, and they're hopping around the house. And he's got them pretty contained. They start in the garage. It's a couple little cages that you could hold in your hand, and an incubator for a handful of eggs. Not a big deal. But little did I know how far that was gonna go. So yeah, in the meantime, Harvey's raising birds, and I'm just going on about my life. Got a new job and all that good stuff. Still going out partying with the girlies, and that is when I met Tamara. So she fits in great. She's super fun. She's younger than the rest of us, but she's been through it. She gets it. She's not to be fucked with. Very much my kind of girl. She could hang. She'd keep up. She'd hang. Super tomboy, just like I am. She's dope. She's fun. I meet her, we hit it off. I tell her about how I just booked a ticket to go see Chef and how excited I was. And she was like, oh, no shit, you got a friend on St. John. I have a friend in St. Thomas. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. She's like, yeah, I was actually going to go visit them soon too. I was like, oh, neat. Maybe we can go on, maybe we could go at the same time, whatever. Just casual conversation about traveling. No big deal. And also in the same time frame, I also meet Evan, and Evan is just an absolute angel of a man. I met him at the job that I had gotten. I was bartending on the patio, and he was out there with some friends, and he was just cute. He caught my eye. He was very handsome. He is very handsome. Still alive, still handsome. He made me laugh a lot, and he lived very close to my restaurant, bar, whatever. So going over to his place before or after I got off work was very convenient. And yeah, he just thought he made me laugh. He was funny, and he was so sexy, and this like scar on his stomach that was so hot, and he played guitar, and he would sing to me. Ugh. Some of them were like adorable little love songs. Some of them were ridiculous songs that him and his buddy made up. Oh man, I still have one saved. I wish he would let me play it for you, but he won't. Maybe I'll change his mind. Maybe I could ask him. Maybe I can peer pressure him into it. Punk, punk, punk. We'll see. Maybe. It's funny. I don't know. I like it. I'd like to put it in like a blooper reel or something. Anyway, he was just an absolute doll. And great in the sack. Dick was nothing to complain about, that's for sure. You know, later when I move to New Orleans, all my friends and my queens will gladly tell you that I am a size queen. And that is not true. I am not a size queen. I have just always been attracted to big dick energy. And I will die on that mountain, except for that one time I told you guys about with the fake period. What do we want to call that? I feel like it should be named something. Like when you wet the bed and you leave without someone, like you get too drunk and you pee the bed, if you've ever done that. Guilty. And like you leave and you don't tell the person that you did it. The old pee and flee. This chick I used to work with in Austin did that to my couch. She peed and fleed my couch. But what should we call it when it's the fake period, or maybe even a real period? When it's just like the period thing. What should we? What should we call it? Let's call it the old clot and trot. No, I don't know if I like that. What about the flow and go? Drip and dip. Menstruate and evacuate. I'm still troubleshooting. We'll figure it out. Feel free to hit me up if you can think of a good one, because I really appreciate it. Not that I'm going to be doing that again anytime soon, but I would like to name it, or at least have your help in naming it. That'd be pretty solid. So, anyway, tangents all day. Evan, absolute fucking delight. We love him. I spent a lot of time with him. He was more than just a distraction from Chef, and for sure, but in like my own way, I was pretending like he wasn't, because for one, back then would not like to admit to myself how fucking boy crazy I am. Hoo-wee. And obviously, if you haven't found it painfully obvious at this point, I be just slinging my heart around, falling in love at the drop of a hat, because I love it. Because all of them are opportunities, right? It's always a shot. I don't know, and I've never been afraid of getting my heart broke, so I always just kind of threw it out there. Often. Do it all, like, meh. Often as possible. Because why not? What is there to be afraid of? Getting hurt? Done that, lived in that, sit in that daily. But man, being in love, something I always dreamed of. Even when I was married, I wasn't, so I just want to know what it felt like to do it right. So I fell in love a lot. I still do. Still do. Anyway, so he was a distraction because my head was fully lodged in Chef's butthole. Yeah, just fucking building a little house up there. Even though he was far away, it didn't matter. I thought about him every fucking day. So there was a lot of stuff that was like sexy and fun and cool. Crazy, sexy, cool. The TLC album? No? Aging myself? That's fine. Anyway, I love him. Still to this day, one of my favorite people. And we'll talk more about him. We sprinkle him in because he pops in and out of these stories because we're friends. And yeah. So just to familiarize you with him, that's who he is. He's this sexy little motorcycle driving motherfucker that's got, you know, a big heart and a big dick. And I love him. And if you're tuning in, my baby, I miss you. And I hope we see each other soon. It's been too long. Anywho, so in the meantime, while I am hanging out with Tamara and the girlies, and I'm distracting myself with Evan's lovely attention, more birds, more and more birds. And Stone is plotting. My dog is plotting, and she's not gonna put up with this shit very much longer. So now there's a pen in the backyard, tall, big chicken wire fenced in like pen thing. I don't know, maybe like we had a big backyard. Maybe it was like 5 feet by 5 feet, and like I don't know, 7, 8 feet tall, whatever. So that's where all the adult quail were now living, and now there's like a quail room, because so Harvey moved out of his room into Robert's room, which was the master. I moved from my room into Harvey's old room, so everyone got an upgrade with the room. So the tiny room that I was staying in now has become like some sort of incubator fucking bird room. So there's like eggs and incubators and babies in the garage, and there's eggs and incubators and babies in the tiny room, and then there's full adult quail outside. And it started with the one like fenced in little 5 by 5 thing, but then there was like fucking 3 of them at some point, and there's hundreds of fucking birds, hundreds of birds fucking everywhere. It's insane. And so my dog, of course, being a fucking dog who was there, and there's a dog door, okay? There's a dog door, so she can go in and out of this backyard as she pleases, and as she should. It's her house. She'd been there a year, and this motherfucker gets all pissed when dog being a dog goes out there in the middle of the night and just tears through those fences, bloodied out her poor little gums, fucked her teeth up, fucked her little mouth up, chewing through that chicken wire to get in there, got those quail out, man. Massacre. Fucking massacre. She killed like 15, 20, I don't know, man. It was a lot. It was a lot of birds. He was not happy, obviously, because like she killed his money, and I get that, but also like, how the fuck do you think my pup feels having her mouth all mangled and shit because she's a dog, and you put prey in front of her in the fucking yard. You don't think she's gonna do something about it? She's been living there without it. This was her territory at that point. Bear, that big sweet Saint Bernard, left with Robert because that was his dog. So like, you don't think for a second that Bear would have done the same thing? You would think for a second that Robert wouldn't have been fucking pissed if he knew the hundreds of birds in his fucking house. Birds. So many birds. So Stone, she ate these fucking quail, and then she doubled down and she did it again not much longer later. And Harvey's like, you've got to pay me back for these quail. I want you to like damages and yada yada yada. And I'm like, get fucked. You're out of your mind. I am not. That's insane. That's insane. Does Robert know about these birds? No, he doesn't. Okay, cool. But you're gonna ask me to pay you for this thing that you know you're not supposed to be doing in this house in the first place. It is a humongous health code violation. Me and my dog are breathing in this like fucking bird. I don't know if dander? What the fuck do birds have? I don't know. But what they do have is a lot of poop, a lot of dust, a lot of nonsense that I did not need to be inhaling. Oh, and then the smell of the house eventually was just out of fucking control because there's fucking birds everywhere. They'd escape and shit. They'd be a little hoppity hoppity. And it went from like, oh, look at the cute little birds to like, get these birds out of my fucking house. It was wild. So he's like, oh, you need to pay for the quail that she ate. And I'm like, no, I don't. Get fucked. So yeah, he went to work one day and I rented a U-Haul and had a friend with a truck, and I packed all of my shit and moved straight the fuck out of that house while he was at work, put everything in a storage unit, and just knew that I was going to start couch surfing, sleeping in that storage unit, sleeping in my car, but I had to get out of that house. So I knew the next step was that he was going to ask me to leave, or something to that effect was going to happen. So I just figured like, all right, you know what, fuck it, it's time for me to boogie. So yeah, packed my shit and put it in a storage unit, moved out while he was at work. In like 4 hours, packed that shit, gone bitch, unloaded it, and then just started couch surfing. And my boss at the time was going on vacation or something with his wife, and he needed someone to dog sit. So that was fortunate because that gave me a roof over my head and somewhere to go and a shower. And he paid me, which was nice because I needed that too. So it was some extra cash, a bed to sleep in, roof over my head while I figured my shit out. So that was kind of like a little bit of a reprieve. But if I'm being honest, I was an absolute fucking disaster. Total disaster. Disaster. Disaster to the point, such a disaster that one night when I was at the Handlebar, I was in the bathroom stall and I had my purse around my shoulder, and it was like sitting like behind me on the toilet, just like strapped across me, because I was like turned sideways like this because I was trying to do cocaine off the back of the toilet. So I was doing my little thing, building my little whatever, and then my girl comes and she's like, knocks on the door. I'm like, yes, bitch. And she's like, hey girl, you doing what I think you're doing? And of course I am doing what you think I'm doing. So I'm just over here like cutting my stuff up, trying to do my thing, do this whole line. And so she wants to come in and do this with me. So I lean forward to unlock the door. And when I sit back down, my purse has now gone into the toilet. I do not know this. I am like, have her come over, let her do one of hers, and I do mine. I'm talking to her. I am I'm wearing a dress or a skirt or something, and I proceed to pee in my purse that is in the toilet. So I pee in my purse while my purse is in the toilet. So of course it's unzipped. Of course it is. So I pee directly inside of it, and on top are my cell phone and my passport. So now I've got my pee passport and my fucking phone, and they're in my purse covered in piss. So yeah, such a disaster. Not only did I do that, but then I had to go to the restaurant that I got fired from to get a bag of, yeah, you think I'm gonna say rice. I'm not. We didn't have rice. Get a bag of quinoa because I'm bougie like that. So I had to dry my piss-soaked phone out in a bag of quinoa, and then one thing leads to another, and I spent a cute little night in jail. But that's fine. I took care of it. It's fine. It's fine. Thank God right before that, Tamara and I had ended up moving in with a coworker of mine. So I watched my boss's dogs, was an absolute train wreck, peed in my purse while trying to do cocaine, ended up in jail, move in with my coworker and his girlfriend, and they have another roommate. And then Tamara and I move into their one extra room together, because she has now told me at this point that her friend asked her if she wanted to come live with her on St. Thomas. And so she asked me if I wanted to go. And I'm like, the universe is screaming at me. The universe is screaming at me to get the fuck down there, to go be with Chef. That must be what it is. Why would a fucking random opportunity like this present itself if I wasn't supposed to go down there to be with him? Oh my God, crazy. Crazy parasite in my brain. In fucking deed. So, to me, the universe was screaming at me. It wasn't speaking in whispers at this point. It was just fucking yelling, like, you have to go do this. Everything kind of made sense to me that this was lining up the way it was going to line up. And so, Tamara and I were sharing a full-size bed in this tiny little room that had our stuff in it. Most of my stuff was in storage, but it had what wouldn't fit in storage, which was most, like, my clothes. So most of our stuff was just piled on top of each other in that room. It looked like an episode of fucking Hoarders. It was just so much shit. You could barely see the bed, and we would just take turns sleeping in it or sleep very fucking close to each other because there was just no room. But it was saving us a shit ton of money on rent because we could split the cost for that one room. I could work whatever hours I needed to. Tomorrow was cool to watch my dog. Everything was just good. And I was getting ready to go on this vacation, and I was just, I was trying to figure it out. I wasn't doing a great job, but I was trying to figure it out. So when September came around and I got on that plane with my PP passport and a dream, I had no idea what was supposed to be 1 week of sex and vacation and island paradise with Chef turned into a situation that had me flipping a coin and going on a fucking adventure that was going to change my life. And that is all coming next week. So next week, everything starts to happen. We land in St. Thomas, and then Justin and lesions all over my face, swimming in the bioluminescence, living on a boat. I don't know. There's just a lot. The Caribbean's a big old chunk. And it was so good before it got so fucking bad. Holy shit. Oh my God, paradise. Paradise, my ass. Whew. People do not understand. I mean, you do. It takes a certain kind of person, right? But it's not for everybody. But like, trust me, when you're in your resort and you think everything's cute, it is not the same. It is not the same. It's crazy down there. Like wild, wild. But we'll get to that. So, in case you didn't know, you don't owe anybody shit. Period. Move out. Leave. Do you, boo. It is what it is. It's okay to be selfish. It's your journey, honey. Just try not to hurt anybody in the process, and you'll be fine. Live your truth, boo. And I'll see you next Tuesday.